Hi everyone, I'm George from Nirvana Sound and welcome to another product showcase. When considering high-end speakers today, there are plenty of options. When looking at a speaker, you can often tell or get a pretty good idea of how it's going to sound by looking at some of the engineering principles that have been used to design it, some of the design priorities, the materials used, the quality of the drivers and crossovers, etc. They all give you a pretty good idea of how you can expect it to sound. But every once in a while, a component comes along that is truly extraordinary. It performs so well, is so emotionally captivating, that it often develops a bit of a cult following and becomes an instant classic. Today, I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite such components, the Wilson Benesch Discovery 3.0. You're in for a treat. This is a great speaker. Wilson Benesch are located in Sheffield, England, and were established in 1989 by Craig and Christina Milnes. Years later, their son Luke also joined the company to look after marketing and global sales. The company was formed based on a belief that it was possible to improve the existing state-of-the-art within high-end audio product designs at the time. The founding principles were pure research, genuine engineering and materials science, all at the heart of a collaborative design process. This approach was at the heart of their first grant application, which set out to develop a new turntable and tone arm based around carbon fiber composite materials technology. It's important to note that this materials technology did not exist within any home consumer product designs of the time and was the preserve of Formula One and aerospace industries. So in order to achieve their goals, they needed to collaborate with specialists within the university sectors and advanced composite industries. The grant application was successful. The first carbon fiber nomics composite structures ever seen within high-end audio design were conceived, and the Wilson Benesch turntable and ACT1 tone arm were launched in 1990. Among the development team were engineers who worked on Rolls-Royce RB211 carbon fan blades and a number of other highly specialised consultants. These products immediately went on to win countless awards globally, but notably in Japan and Germany, where exceptional quality and performance was demanded. Almost 35 years on, the principles of innovation, collaboration, and pure research within materials science remain firmly at the heart of their ethos and approach to the development of some of the world's finest high-end audio products today. A Wilson Benesch product is immediately distinguished visually, materially, and acoustically from anything else in what is an increasingly busy high-end market. Their products are also unique in terms of how they're manufactured. 95% of their inventory of components that create their products are created entirely in-house from raw materials. This includes all carbon fiber, biocomposite structures, all aluminium, steel, and other metal components, and all of their drive unit technologies. At Nirvana Sound, we refer to Wilson Benesch as the Formula One of loudspeakers, not only because of their use of carbon fiber and high-tech composite materials, but also because the level of research, technological innovation and development that has resulted from a level of funding which is rare for any audio company is unique and totally unprecedented. There is simply no other speaker company in the world that has invested this level of R&D and technological innovation into their products. One of the reasons this speaker sounds so good is that it's been in existence for over 21 years, going through 3 generational incarnations at that time. The first Discovery was launched in 2002, the Discovery 2 appeared in 2015, and today's Discovery 3.0 was introduced in 2022. This is an important consideration because what we experience today is the result of over 21 years of experience, 21 years of listening, receiving feedback, honing, refining, slowly making improvements, applying new insights and technological innovations, etc. When listening to the Wilson Benesch Discovery 3.0, it is immediately obvious that this is the result of decades of development, the result of a team of people with vast experience who really know what they're doing. It has an inferred development maturity, much like, for example, a Porsche 911. Slow, incremental evolution, resulting in a perfect blend of beauty and immense capability. The Discovery 3.0 is the first speaker offering in the company's Fibonacci series, which is their reference range. The name afforded to the product is derived literally from the discovery back in the 1990s, during the development of the first model, that placing the mid-range, tweeter, and an isobarically loaded bass drive system within a few inches of one another in the loudspeaker enclosure delivered an acoustic presentation with almost perfect integration across the audio band. Stand mount designs generally are known to deliver good integration, but the Discovery's isobaric drive system set it apart, delivering weight and extension in the lower frequencies with absolute grip and control. This drive unit configuration remains unique today and is a distinctly Wilson Benesch design, shared only with its largest sibling, the Endeavour 3.0. The unique quality of the Discovery's sound attracted many audio enthusiasts worldwide, and many remain owners to this day, upgrading through the years in which the design has evolved in each successive generation. Discovery is also a reference to Captain Cook's ship, the HMS Discovery, which was built in Whitby, Yorkshire, the same county as Wilson Benesch's home in England. Yorkshire, and particularly Sheffield, the city in which Wilson Benesch was founded and the factory remains to this day, has a long history of engineering excellence. The first industrial process for production of steel on an industrial scale was developed in Sheffield by Henry Bessemer. To this day, Yorkshire remains a centre of high-tech engineering excellence. Wilson Benesch celebrates this engineering excellence wherever possible. Despite its elegant artistic lines, the Discovery 3.0 is a serious precision construction achievement, being comprised of 89 different components. That is, if you count all of the drive units as one single component. All three models see a single mid-range drive unit with a tweeter below it and an isobaric drive system underside of the enclosure. This is an important point because although offering the sonic benefits of a stand mount design, there are two bass drivers present which are not immediately obvious. In a traditional floor standing configuration, this speaker would have had a tweeter, mid-range, and two bass drivers along the front baffle, but this ingenious design tucks the bass drivers up and behind the tweeter, making them almost visually invisible. The latest Discovery 3.0 introduces the new Advanced Composite Technology ACT 3.0 monocoque into the enclosure. This is the latest generation enclosure that is made by sustainably sourced, bio-based natural materials. The enclosure is stiffer and also even more capable of damping resonant energy than the previous generation ACT monocoque used in the Discovery and Discovery 2. The first Discovery used a silk dome scan speed tweeter that was flat to 24,000 Hz. The Discovery 2 introduced the Wilson Benesch Semisphere tweeter, the first tweeter made by Wilson Benesch. It was the first tweeter in the world that used a hybridized construction with a carbon fibre rib across the silk dome providing added stiffness and damping, allowing the tweeter to extend to 30 kHz flat. The Discovery 3.0 introduces the second generation Wilson Benesch tweeter, the Fibonacci tweeter. Like the Semisphere, it has a silk carbon tweeter dome. However, significant advances have been made in structures adjacent to the motor and the hybridized dome. The Fibonacci element is formed from a carbon fiber nylon composite structure, creating a geometrically optimized pattern that has been inspired by sacred geometry found in nature. In terms of acoustic performance, the faceplate delivers a new benchmark in terms of flat frequency response and ultra-wide dispersion. Advances have also been made in how the tweeter is constructed and fitted to the loudspeaker. The Fibonacci element is entirely decoupled from the tweeter motor, which eliminates resonant energy in the faceplate that is introduced by high-frequency sound. To the rear of the tweeter is the new labyrinth backplate. The geometry of this structure has been optimized using advanced 3D computer modeling to create optimal structures for absorbing sound energy that moves into the back of the tweeter motor, thereby damping the energy and eliminating out-of-phase sound that would otherwise escape into the listening space. The 3D computer modeling software is an example of biomimicry within design, creating optimal structures from algorithms taken from nature. The mid-range drive unit has evolved in each model. The original Discovery was fitted with Wilson Benesch's first multi-role drive unit, the Tactic 1.0. The Discovery 2 was fitted with the Tactic 2.0, and the new Discovery 3.0 is fitted with the Tactic 3.0. The tweeter and all of the drivers are manufactured in-house by Wilson Benesch. Contrast this with the great majority of manufacturers who simply buy their drivers from an OEM and stick them into a cabinet. When the one company manufactures all of the components, then the synergy, integration, coherence, and consistency of quality is top shelf. The structure at the center of the diaphragm plays a critical role in the behavior of the drive unit. Commonly referred to as the dust cap, the name understates the importance of this component. In the Tactic 3.0, Wilson Benesch added the Fibonacci element. Produced in-house using additive manufacturing technology, the Fibonacci element can be printed according to pre-designed parameters. Such is the precision of the additive manufacturing software that the Wilson Benesch design team can see in cross-section and design three-dimensionally the optimal layout of carbon fiber and nylon, defining both stiffness and weight across the structure. The result is a new geometrical form that is comprised of a double curvature with both open and closed aspects in the form of a lattice structure, again borrowed from natural geometry. 5 different materials and adhesives provide significant improvements in both the accuracy of the frequency response and the reduction of distortion. This is a critical aspect of the relationship between the drive unit and its ability to integrate with the roll-off of the tweeter and base drive units. In the past, several materials have been drawn upon to enable the fine-tuning of this marriage. Additive manufacturing has opened up a new chapter in the pursuit of this subtle but extremely important aspect of loudspeaker design. For the first time, the principal aspects of this structure can be all adjusted in a way that was previously impossible. The mid-range Tactic 3.0 driver operates from 500 Hz to 5 kHz, ensuring that most of the audible range of musical information is covered by one driver with no crossover influence. This adds to that feeling of cohesive, balanced sound. So when a speaker driver receives an electrical signal from an amplifier, it has to initially overcome its own inertia so that it can communicate the electrical signal accurately. So theoretically, the ideal or perfect driver will have no weight or mass at all. But we know that that's impossible. Apart from some plasma tweeters that deal only with high frequencies, all dynamic drivers have a mass. So the bigger the driver, the more inertia it has to overcome, the harder it is to control accurately. And this is why a lot of bass delivered by speaker systems sounds a bit bloated and has more of a thud characteristic. Another challenge is that the driver cone needs to maintain the integrity of its shape. It needs to move as one unit, but as the drivers become larger, the areas of the cone as you move away from the center and towards the edge of the driver move slower than the center. If you watch a driver in slow speed, as it moves backwards and forwards in a pistonic motion, the driver is changing its shape as the outer regions try to catch up with the inner regions. This distortion of the driver's shape causes an audible distortion of the sound. Wilson Benesch addressed this challenge by moving the same amount of air, or even more, with a number of smaller drivers, which are lighter, easier to control, and more accurate. This isobaric clamshell configuration method of producing bass is also another defining feature of the Fibonacci range and gives Wilson Benesch a distinctive bass performance that can be described as fast and articulate. Another advantage of the Discovery 3.0 is its scalability. Adding a Wilson Benesch low-frequency generator to a pair of Discovery 3.0 stand mounts means that the owner can really have it all. The new IGX low-frequency generator allows owners to extract all the virtues of a stand mount design with delivery of powerful low-frequency acoustics with equal speed to create a seamlessly integrated compact but full-range personal home audio system. The effect of adding an IGX is astounding. If you were blindfolded, you would easily bet that you are listening to a full-range tower floor-standing speaker system. In one sense, this is a form of future-proofing your investment. If you acquire a pair of Discovery 3.0, you can simply add an IGX in the future to have true high-end top-to-bottom sound with plenty of heft, energy, soundstage depth, and scale. The standard finish is known as textured black. However, this particular speaker features their premium P1 Silverstone silver carbon fiber finish. They are also available in a range of premium paint finishes or premium natural wood veneers, which are very beautiful. The isobaric drive system is finished in the standard textured black, but you can also order rhodium silver or a premium gold finish. Due to its innovative design, the Wilson Benesch Discovery 3.0 is not an easy speaker to categorize in a traditional sense. Being a state-of-the-art stand mounter, we expect imaging to be one of its strengths, and it sure is. The imaging is superb. The speakers present a large soundstage with every musical element located accurately within its space. Three-dimensionality, depth of soundstage is superb, and all the micro detail is accurately placed within the context of the fuller picture. The bass is fast and articulate, very communicative, and this is one of the hallmarks of the Wilson Benesch sound. The lower frequencies, rather than having a dull sort of thud characteristic, are in fact very articulated. So the tonality of each note begins and is defined right at its foundation. A lot of the emotional content in music is actually found in that mid-bass to lower frequency range, often where you hear details like the artist's chest and throat during a vocal performance. I find the Discovery 3.0s to be excellent communicators of emotion, which is one of the points of high-end audio. The unique location of the drivers within the same space also has the effect of creating a type of point source sound, exhibiting the coherence in some way similar to a full range single driver without the single driver's numerous sonic issues. Now, for example, if you're listening to a live performance of an acoustic guitar, you can hear all the individual strings vibrating, each with its own unique timbral quality, and then all of that sound reverberating within the inner chamber of a wooded guitar case. And all of that emanates from a particular point source in the room. It's very believable. However, when we hear a recording played back of that performance, a lot of speaker systems instead present us with a wall of sound. So we close our eyes and we can identify that it's a guitar, we can hear all the details, but we're unable to relocate it properly with a sense of space. The Discovery 3.0, because of its unique design, really allows you to locate elements accurately within the soundstage. The unique configuration of the Discovery 3.0 presents the sound more realistically in terms of its point of origin. And if this quality is important to you, you'll never buy another speaker system. No speaker is completely transparent. In other words, every speaker imparts its own sonic characteristics to the sound. However, Wilson Benesch speakers are about as transparent as a speaker can get, thanks to the unique technologies mentioned earlier. They've done such a great job in reducing speaker coloration that their speakers completely get out of the way of the music. The Discoveries are a great example of this. Once properly set up, they do a great job of simply disappearing, leaving only music to enjoy. No cabinet colorations, no signature driver distortions, just music. Due to their speed, the flow and rhythm of the performance is presented beautifully. Due to their transparency, it feels as though you're experiencing an unusually accurate presentation of the musical event. But for me, the aspect that I love so much is that they've got an ability to convey the natural tonality of a voice or instrument so well. This combination of virtues at this standard is rare at this pricing level. There's just an inherent rightness to the sound that allows you to close your eyes and forget about the fact that you're listening to a system. If you have an asymmetrical or challenging room, take note, because the way they propagate bass into the room makes them more compliant, more flexible in their setup. So beautiful music sounds beautiful. Sad music sounds sorrowful. And edgy music sounds, well, edgy. These speakers do a fine job of expressing the artist's intention with poise and finesse. But a little word of warning, they are so revealing that you have to be very careful about your choice of upstream electronics and source equipment, because you will hear everything. If the speakers sound closed in or bright, don't blame the speakers. We have installed these speakers in systems with fantastic electronics, and the sound is really world class. So I feel that these speakers are genuine giant killers on a number of levels. When I ask myself, what is the actual point of high-end audio? I feel it's to experience music in such a realistic, natural, palpable way that I literally switch off the analytical part of my mind and I surrender to the music and I exist purely in the creative, emotional space. And that allows me to be transported by the music, or to imagine that the artist is actually in front of me singing in my living room. It's to actually have the illusion of a real life performance. And that works well, but if the system draws attention to itself in some peculiar way where it doesn't sound natural or real, you snap out of that illusion and you're back in your analytical mind and you remember that you're sitting on a sofa listening to a system. This is a very difficult thing for a speaker to achieve and is normally the domain of far more expensive speaker systems. And this is what makes the Discovery 3.0 so special, that matched with the right source equipment and electronics upstream, it is actually capable of delivering this feeling. It has that possibility. And for that reason alone, I think it really stands out from the crowd. There are many reasons why the Discovery 3.0s should be on your shortlist or in your living room. The first one is technology. To the best of my knowledge, there is simply no speaker company that implements this level of technology in their loudspeaker designs. Wilson Benesch have been fortunate to receive the sort of funding that audio companies can only dream of, and you, the consumer, are the lucky beneficiary. Think about this example. Where most other speaker companies are using plastic, wood, MDF or particle board to glue and screw cabinets together, Wilson Benesch are making advanced composite technology, single-piece monocoque enclosures made by sustainably sourced, bio-based natural materials. The stiffness and damping qualities of these enclosures is galaxies away from what most others are doing. It's like comparing Max Verstappen's Formula One race car to a 1908 Model T Ford. Another one is manufacturing excellence. The company makes 95% of its components in-house, making a speaker that sounds like it was made as a whole, not a collection of many people's parts, and the quality of machining and build quality is extraordinary. Another reason is heritage. You are listening to a speaker that is the result of over 21 years of evolution and engineering development, now in its third generation. This is not a fly-by-night company or a startup. Another reason is sound quality, which is obvious if we're interested in high-end audio. All of this technology would be superfluous unless the Discovery 3.0 delivered a world-class sound. And boy does it do that. I call this speaker a giant killer, and I mean it. We have replaced speaker systems worth multiple times as much with Discovery speakers and drastically improved the sound. Finally, I'm going to mention the dreaded V word, value. It's risky to mention that word in high-end audio because of the sheer cost of this equipment. However, if you're aspiring to experience true high-end sound that is palpable, natural, and emotional, once you compare what the Discovery 3.0 is capable of compared to other offerings in the market at this and higher price levels, then it's safe to say that this is a performance bargain. Also, introducing an IGX in the future delivers seamlessly integrated deep full bass extension, which gives an upgrade pathway and future-proofs your investment. This is a no-brainer. If you're a music lover looking for a true high-performance speaker that uses the exact same driver technology and cabinet technology as one of the best speaker systems in the world, the $300,000 Eminence, but you're looking for a smaller footprint, classy looks, and an incredible pedigree, you may have just found your speaker system. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.